Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today is part 2 of going through my books I've bought I haven't read, and this time it is fantasy edition. There are quite a lot, so I'll try to get through them as quick as possible. Some have short blurbs, some have long ones, but I'll try my best to get through quickly because I don't want this to be a very long video. That's the gist of it, so let's get right on to the first book. The first book is So This Is Love by Elizabeth Lim, and as you can see it is a Cinderella retelling. So, what if Cinderella never tried on the glass slipper? Unable to prove that she's the missing princess, unable to bear life under Lady Tremaine any longer, Cinderella starts work at the palace as a seamstress. However, when Cinderella finds herself witness to a grand conspiracy to take the king and the prince out of power, she is faced with questions of love and loyalty to the kingdom. Cinderella must find a way to stop the villains of past and present before it's too late. That sounds so good. I love these books. I have all of them, I'm pretty sure. I think all the ones, apart from 2 or 3, I think there's 2 or 3 that's roughly come out fairly recently, so I have all of them apart from them. And the reason why I haven't got them yet because they're different covers. They're not like this. I think I've got 1 or 2 that are a different cover to these kind of styles, which is fine, but I really want them to be the same, so that's why I stopped buying them, because it's like, oh, they don't look the same, but I might have to just do it and have unmatched books, but whatever. This sounds so good, and I do recommend this entire series. It's all by different authors, so it kind of depends what kind of writing style you like, because they all have different writing styles, so you might like some more than others, or you might not like them at all. It's just kind of what kind of styles you like in books, but I do still recommend the whole entire series. Next is The Mermaid by Christina Henry. I read, oh god, I can't remember what it's called. I think it was the Little Red Riding Hood one. I think. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but that was really good. So, once there was a fisherman who lived on a cold and rocky coast and was never able to convince any woman to come away and live in that forbidding place with him. One evening he pulled up his net and found a woman in it. A woman with black hair and eyes as grey as a stormy sea and gleaming fishtails instead of legs. The storm in her eyes rolled into his heart. She stopped her thrashing and crashing at his voice, though she did not understand his words, but her eyes had seen inside of him, and his loneliness caught her more surely than the net. So she stayed with him and loved him, though he grew old and she did not. Remarks of this strange and unusual woman travelled from village to village and town to town, until they reached the ears of a man whose business was in the selling of the strange and unusual. His name was P.T. Barnum, and he'd been looking for a mermaid. That sounds so good. I was looking to see if the book I read is down here, but it's not, unfortunately, so I cannot remember what it's called, and I think I unhauled it quite a long time ago, but I remember really liking that book, so this sounds very interesting. I'm very excited to start this. I can't wait. It looks so good as well, so yeah, I'm very excited for that. Next is Serpent and Dove by Shelby Mahern, I think. I've got the other 2 books there because I always buy a series as a whole before I read it, because I can't buy them separately. I don't know what it is. I always buy the whole series first. But anyway. Bound as one to love, honour or burn. A witch and a witch hunter thrust into holy matrimony. There was only one way such a story could end. A stake and a match. You don't get told much. It's kind of very little descriptions, little... You don't get anything basically. So you're going into it completely blind, which I love in a book. So very excited for this. It's quite a chunky, hefty book. So I can't wait. I hope I like the whole series, but if I don't, I can just donate it or give it to someone or whatever. But I think I'll like it. I can't imagine why I wouldn't, so I am excited. The next book is The Fairy's Tale by F.D. Lee, and this is a trilogy. I also have the other 2 books. This time, I didn't buy the whole series. I borrowed them from my mum, so therefore, it's fine. I didn't buy them all like I usually do, but I definitely would have, so. Whoever said fairy tales were easy has never been a wannabe fairy godmother. The truth is, making dreams come true can be a total nightmare. Bee is a lowly cabbage fairy, but she dreams of being a godmother. So when Bee is finally given the chance to prove her worth, she is determined to make a success of it. Besides, how hard can it be? Every girl wants to be rescued by a handsome man, don't they? Apparently not. Bee's heroine doesn't want to be in her story, and her hero is much more interested in the ugly sister. The same ugly sister who is trying to overthrow the kingdom. Suddenly, Bee must confront the fact that her characters are as real as she is, and just like her, they are determined to go their own way. The problem is, if Bee fails to finish her story, she faces a fate much worse than being put to sleep for 100 years. Now, Bee must figure out what happily ever after really means. And whose happy ever after she's prepared to fight for. That sounds so good. I'm so excited. I'm assuming this could be like a kind of a Cinderella retelling because there's a godmother and, you know, the hero wants the ugly sister. So I'm assuming it's sort of like a Cinderella retelling. So I'm intrigued to see what the other two are about, but I don't know. I'm excited to read this. It's not too long and it's floppy, so that's extra points for this. I'm really excited. Next book is Gilded by Marissa Mayer. I think I'm saying that right. I would like to say I do have Curse. I got both these books last year on my birthday. And I would also like to say this was just in the store, signed. How did it get donated? Did the author just stroll in and sign a few books? Because I know they do that sometimes. I don't know, but I got very lucky with this. So let's read the synopsis. The look he was giving her. Serilda had never been looked at like that before. The intensity, the heat, the raw astonishment. He was going to kiss her. Already, oh my god. Cursed by the god of lies, and Miller's daughter has developed a talent for storytelling, but are all of her tales as false as they appear? When one of Serilda's stories draws the attention of the devastating Earl King, she finds herself swept away into a world of enchantment, where ghouls prowl the earth and ravens track her every move. The king locks Serilda in a castle dungeon and orders her to spin straw into gold or be killed for lying. In despair, Serilda unwittingly summons a mysterious young man to her aid, and he agrees to help her for a price. Though love wasn't meant to be part of the bargain. So, like, Rumpelstiltskin vibes? Like, stop it. That sounds so good. Yeah, a reimagining of Rumpelstiltskin. Oh my god, this makes me want to read it now, but I can't. I need to finish a fantasy series I'm in the middle of, which is Fourth Wing. I finished that, so I'm going to be reading Iron Flame and then Onyx Storm when it comes out, and I love it so far. Fourth Wing was incredible, like amazing. But that's a tangent. Anyway, I can't wait. Next is Ink by Alice Broadway. This is also a trilogy. These are also borrowed from my mum, so I didn't buy them. Okay, let's read the synopsis. There are no secrets in Sanestone. Imagine a world where your every action and your every deed is marked on your skin for all to see, and Leora has something to hide. Ink is a story about love, loyalty, and the desire to live forever. It's a tale that gets under your skin. So obviously it's called Ink, so anything they do is tattooed on them. From what my mum told me, that's kind of the vibe. Whatever they do, whatever, is literally tattooed onto them, like kind of magic-y. So, very excited. Quite a small book. Ignore the condition, it's my mum's, not mine. I would never, ever do this to my books, so. But it does sound good. I'm really excited. And I do have the other two books. I can't remember what they're called, but I do have them there in this bookshelf somewhere. But I'm really excited for this one. The next book is All Our Hidden Gifts by Caroline O'Donoghue. I've got the other two as well. They're back there. I actually got these on Vinted, so very good. And the condition's perfect, so I got a really good deal. Anyway, the cards hold the truth. Be careful what you ask. Maeve Chambers doesn't have any special gifts. That is until she finds Dusty a pack of tarot cards and starts giving uncannily accurate readings to everyone around her. But when she reads for her ex-best friend Lily, a strange card appears in the deck, and everything goes wrong. Lily doesn't come to school the next day or the next, and Maeve knows she's been taken somewhere the police will never find her. Only the cards and something older, something even more powerful can bring her back. That sounds so good. I'm really excited for this. It's quite a short series. The other two are over there, and this is something like right up my alley. Like, I did read a book quite a while ago that had a similar premise. She read tarot cards, and she was doing it. She was a fake, basically. She just could read people really well, and they unwittingly gave her information that she could use against them. So I'm pretty sure she charged, I think. Sorry, I can't remember. But it was such a good book. I cannot for the life of me remember what it's called, but I will try to find it. This sounds incredible. See, me going through all these books that I've got but haven't read makes me want to read them straight away, but I can't because I'm literally in the middle of a series right now. And then I still got a couple of arcs I need to read for February, so maybe after. We will see. Next is Deep Water by Lou Hersey. Gorgeous cover, can we just say. What if you discovered you weren't who or even what you thought you were? Suddenly people start to fear you. They think you're evil, cursed, and then they want to destroy you. Dani never knew about her family's strange legacy until her mum disappeared, and now the only way to save those she loves from a living hell is to embrace her incredible new gift, however impossible it seems. Very excited for that. It says it's a compelling and beautiful story of family secrets, elemental magic, and the deepest mysteries of the sea. That sounds so good. I'm very excited for this. Maybe she's a mermaid. I'm not sure. She's underwater, so mermaid, some sort of other like sea creature thing. I don't know. But either way, sounds so good. The next book is Spellbook of the Lost and Found by Moira Fowley Doyle. I think I'm saying that right. This has been on my TBR for nearly 2 years. I'm pretty sure I got this in 2023 on my birthday, I think. It might have even been before that. I can't remember. Either way, it's been on my TBR for ages. One stormy summer night, Olive and her best friend Rose begin to lose things. It starts with simple items like hair clips and jewellery, but soon it's clear that Rose has lost something bigger, something she won't talk about. Then Olive meets 3 wild, mysterious strangers, Ivy, Hazel and Rowan. Like Rose, they're mourning losses and holding tight to secrets. When they discover the ancient spellbook full of hard ink charms to conjure back lost things, they realise it might be their chance to set everything right, unless it's leading them towards secrets that were never meant to be found. It sounds so good. I really like the cover as well. Honestly, this sounds incredible. So, I'm very excited for that. I like witchy, not really witchy. I guess it is, 'cause it's more like a book, witchy book. Spell book. That's the word I was trying to think of. So, witchy vibes, I think, maybe. I don't know. We will see. The next book is Witch You Weren't Here by Emma Jackson. Can you appreciate how gorgeous this book is? 1 hurricane, 2 stranded witches, sparks are bound to fly. Kay knows 3 things to be true. A witch who cannot control her powers is dangerous. She needs to make it home for her brother's wedding, and Harry Ashworth is the last person she ever wants to see. But after visiting the witching community's equivalent of IT support to try and fix the misbehaving magic, a hurricane hits and her flight home is cancelled. Not only is Kay stranded, but she's stranded with Harry, her infuriatingly handsome and charming childhood friend who broke her heart when they were teenagers. Except Harry is a frustratingly powerful witch, so working together might be the only way to get back home. And the more time they spend together, the harder it becomes to ignore what is simmering under the surface. Soon, it becomes clear that Kay's magic isn't the only thing she doesn't have control of. A witchy romance by the looks of it. It sounds so good. I cannot wait. I do really love witch romance books, but I will say the past few I've read have not hit the mark for me. So, I'm not sure. I'll have to see. Like, there is a witch book that I really, really didn't like, so I'm hoping that was a one-off because I really want to like this. The next book is The Witch's Kiss by Catherine and Elizabeth Core. Also a trilogy, also borrowed from my mum. Mary is an average teenager. She's also a witch, but she is trying not to be. But she is. Then Jack comes into her life and she can't help falling under his spell. One problem, he's part of an evil centuries-old curse that Mary now has to break. If Mary has lost her heart, will she lose her life too? Or can true love's kiss save the day? Being a witch is dangerous, but being in love is even worse. That sounds so good. I cannot wait. A fairly average sized book, I would say. Very excited. Really nice cover as well. I'm excited. I wonder, like, what happens for it to be a trilogy? Oh my god, I'm very, very excited. The next book is Fire and Fate by Serena Valentino. This is part of the Villain's Tale series, which is such a good series. It's one of my all-time favourites, so I highly recommend that. And obviously, as you can see, it's Hades. After helping Zeus defeat the tyrannical titans, Hades is given dominion of the underworld. Though it's a role he never wanted, Hades tries to make the best of a lonely situation. However, he soon finds out that when your own family treats you like a villain, it is far too easy to become one. That sounds so good, and all of these books are good. I love them all, so very excited for this. Can't wait. Relatively short read, I'll probably read that very, very quickly. But yeah, I do recommend this series. It's one of my all-time favourites, as I said. I do recommend you read book 1 right to the last one, because technically you can read them out of order, but it won't make much sense because there are some parts that are kind of interlinked. So I do recommend you reading them in order so you know there's no confusion, basically. The next book is Bride by Ellie Hazelwood. Misery Lark, the only daughter of the most powerful vampire councilman of the Southwest, is an outcast. Again. Her days of living in anonymity among the humans are over. She's been called upon to uphold a historic peacekeeping alliance between the vampires and their mortal enemies, the Weres, and sees little choice but to surrender herself in the exchange. Again. Weres are ruthless and unpredictable, and the alpha, Lone Moreland, is no exception. He rules his pack with absolute authority, but not without justice. And, unlike the Vampire Council, not without feeling. It's clear from the way he tracks Misery's every movement that he doesn't trust her. If only he knew how right he was. Because Misery has her own reasons to agree to this marriage of convenience. Reasons that have nothing to do with politics or alliances and everything to do with the only thing that she's ever cared about. And she's willing to do whatever it takes to get back what's hers, even if it means a life alone in Were territory, alone with the wolf. That sounds so good. I'm really excited for this. I have heard quite mixed things about this, so kind of nervous, but I think I'll like it. I've liked her other books, and I love like vampire and werewolf books, so I'm pretty sure I'll like this. The next book is Almost There by Farah Rochon. I think I'm saying that wrong, but anyway, this is a Princess and the Frog retelling, Twisted Tale retelling, should I say. So, what if Tiana made a deal that changed everything? When the notorious Dr. Facilier backs Tiana into a corner, she has no choice but to accept an offer that will alter the course of her life in an instant. Soon, Tiana finds herself in a new reality where all her deepest desires are realised. She finally gets a restaurant, her friends are safe and sound, and perhaps most miraculous of all, her beloved father is still alive. But after a while, her hometown grows increasingly eerie, and Tiana must work alongside Naveen and Charlotte to set things right, or risk losing everything she holds dear. Again, that sounds good. I really like the Twisted Tale series. They're really good. They aren't linked, so you can read them in any order you want. I do have all of them, apart from a couple, like I said earlier. I'm trying to remember what ones, but I'm not sure. But either way, I'm very excited for this. The next book is another Twisted Tale, which is When You Wish Upon a Star by Elizabeth Lim, and obviously, as you can see, it's the Pinocchio one. What if the Blue Fairy wasn't supposed to help Pinocchio? Periva is a village full of magical lore where sisters Chiara and Ilaria grew up together. 40 years later, Chiara, now the Blue Fairy, defies the rules of magic within Periva and grants a wish that changes everything for her old friend Geppetto and for a little puppet named Pinocchio. But she's discovered by the Scarlet Fairy, formerly Ilaria, who holds this transgression against her. They decide to settle things for a good old-fashioned bet, with Pinocchio and Geppetto's fate hanging in the balance. That sounds really good. Again, very excited for this. Quite a fairly sized book. Floppy, which I love. These books are so good, by the way. I love this series, so definitely recommend it. And I'm very excited for this one. Although it is different, as I said, the covers are different now, which is kind of a bummer, but it is what it is. The next book is With Fire in Their Blood by Kat Della Corte. I think I'm saying that right. A simmering supernatural romance set in the crumbling Italian city of Castello, where mafia clans make the rules, dark magic pulses the streets, and the sins of the past threaten to consume the present. Castello, divided for generations by a brutal clan war, has been kept under control by a mysterious leader determined to maintain order and purity, whatever the cost. When Lily arrives, she is instantly drawn to the rebellious Liza, brooding Nico, and sensitive Christian. But in a city where love leads to ruin, she isn't sure she can trust anyone, not even herself. Then she accidentally breaks Castello's most important rule. When they test your blood, you'd better not be anything more than human. I can't wait for that. That sounds really good. I'm pretty sure I got this last year on my birthday, so it's been in my TBR for a long time, but I am excited to read this. Another gorgeous cover, so very excited for this one. The next book is Another Twisted Tale, which is A Whole New World by Liz Braswell. Obviously, as you can see, it's an Aladdin Twisted Tale. Discover what would have happened if Aladdin never found the lamp. Aladdin is a street rat just trying to survive in a harsh city, while Jasmine is a beautiful princess about to enter an arranged marriage. Their worlds collide when the Sultan's trusted advisor suddenly rises to power and, with the help of a mysterious lamp, attempts to gain control over love and death. Together, Aladdin and Jasmine must unite to stop power-hungry Jafar tearing the kingdom apart in this story of love, power, and one moment that changes everything. That sounds so good. I'm really excited for this one. I'm pretty sure this is book 1 of the Twisted Tale series, I think. And this series you don't have to read in any order, in like a particular order, I mean. You can read in any order you like. I don't remember any of them being interconnected or anything like that. They are just separate stories by some by the same authors, some by different authors. Either way, a really good series. I do recommend you read it because this is also one of my favourite series. The next book is What Once Was Mine by Liz Braswell, which is also part of the Twisted Tale series. And as you can see, it's like a Tangled, Rapunzel, whatever you want to call it, retelling. What if Rapunzel's mother drank from the wrong flower? For as long as she can remember, Rapunzel stayed in the tower, knowing as still as her intense powers are dangerous, even deadly. But when she is drawn out of the only home she's ever known, she gets caught up in an exciting quest across the kingdom. And soon Rapunzel learns that there may be more to her story and her magical tresses than she ever thought possible. God, I stumbled. Anyway, very excited for this. I don't know why I haven't read it sooner, considering Tangled is my favourite Disney film, but whatever. Not too big, not too small. Really excited for this. And as always, Floppy gets extra points. So I am very excited for this. The next book is Reflection by Elizabeth Lim, which is another Twisted Tale, and it is a Mulan one, I think. Yeah. What if Mulan had to travel to the underworld? When Captain Shang is mortally wounded in battle, Mulan must travel to the underworld, Diyu, in order to save him from certain death. But King Yama, the ruler of Diyu, is not willing to give Shang up easily. With the help of Shang's great lion guardian Shishi, Mulan must find Shang's spirit and leave by sunrise or become King Yama's prisoner forever. Mulan, still disguised as a soldier Ping, wrestles with the decision whether or not to reveal her true identity to her closest friend. Will Mulan be able to save Shang before it's too late? That sounds so good. I haven't watched Mulan actually, so I probably should watch that before I read this just to get the general gist of the idea. So I might do that whenever I pick this up. But either way, it does sound really good, so I'm really excited for this. And the last book is another Twisted Tale, which is Set in Stone by Mary Mancusi, which is a Sword in the Stone retelling. What if Arthur wasn't meant to be king? Having pulled the sword from the stone, scrawny Arthur has gone from washing dishes to sitting on the throne at Camelot Castle. What he doesn't know is that the scheming witch, Madame Mim, used her magic to help Arthur free the sword, believing the boy would be easy to control once he was made king. When Arthur proves more capable than she imagined, Mim sent her foster daughter, Genevieve, to put Arthur back in his rightful place washing dishes. But Arthur and Genevieve discover Mim's manipulations and forge an unlikely friendship. As they search for a way to outwit Mim and unite the kingdom, they realise that no one's fate is set in stone. This sounds so good. I haven't seen Sword in the Stone, so I should probably watch that again to get the gist, like I will with Mulan. But either way, this sounds really, really good. Another really pretty cover, even if it doesn't match the original covers. These are the first ones that I got through most of the books. But then recently, the newer ones have been coming out in these type of covers, which I still really like. I just wish they matched, but they don't, unfortunately. But either way, this sounds so good. And those are all the fantasy books that I've bought or been gifted but haven't read. Quite a big stack. And I'm very excited for all of them. Hopefully I'll read some this year, but we will see. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell notification to get notified when I post, and I'll see you in the next video.